Welcome everyone. You're watching our special India's Test Down Under. I'm Shivani Gupta. We'll get you expert analysis on not just Virat Kohli's innings, but also how this Test match is now poised for both the teams. But first up, let's take a look at that feat. Kohli has created history by becoming the first batsman to score 3 tons in his first 3 innings as captain. He also became the first Indian batsman to score 400s in a series down under and is now the second batsman after Sunil Gavaskar to score 4 tons in any series abroad.
Inside edge, and he gets it. Another 100 for Virat Kohli.
It's another ton of joy for Virat Kohli. The man they call the run machine has turned into a player who deals in centuries these days.
He lets the world know about it. That's the way he plays his cricket.
At Sydney, Team India needed a strong reply, and Virat not just put his hand up, he also delivered when it really mattered. The Australian bowlers might hate the sight of Virat, but Virat just loves Australia. This is now his 4th ton in the series.
Onto the front foot this time, and it's a lovely shot through the covers.
He first made 2 centuries in his debut test as captain in Adelaide. He missed out in Brisbane, but Virat did not miss out at MCG, scoring his 3rd century on the tour. And now a 4th 100 at the SCG.
The other side of his...
This is truly the return of Virat the fighter. It's now hard to remember the horror of England when he was struggling to put bat to the ball. Instead, his feat puts him in the company of an elite player. Virat has equalled Sunil Gavaskar's record of scoring 4 centuries on tour. He is also just the 3rd batsman to score 4 tons in a series in Australia. This makes him the first Indian batsman to score 4 tons in a series down under. Virat is truly on cloud 9 and he knows how to make his innings count. At Sydney, not only did he belt a century, he also guided young KL Rahul all along. Truly, with Dhoni gone and Virat the new captain, good times in Indian cricket don't seem far away. Sports Bureau headlines today.
Well, if we ever could have had anything to lift our spirits despite the result in this series, then it's surely the kind of performance we've seen from Virat Kohli. Boria Majumdar and Nikhil Chopra with me. Nikhil, what a way to, not just come back into form for him, because he had a pretty poor run in England, but also to respond to the challenge of captaincy. Record stumbling really with Virat's prolific run.
Well, Shivani, we all know what a fantastic player that he is. And, when he was going through that bad run of form, we were always saying that, that one innings that will bring him back into form is just around the corner. And you talk about captaincy, I guess here's a man who enjoys the leadership role. He enjoys taking responsibility. And what innings, batting at 140 not out and looking to show the entire side how to take things forward. When you get a good enough start, you need to convert that start. And even in that very first test match, when he got those back-to-back 100s in those 2 innings, it just goes to show that he enjoys that leadership roles. He enjoys to be leading from the front. And that's Virat Kohli for you.
Absolutely. Boria, there are some people who could sometimes get bogged down with responsibility, especially captaincy can be, a crown of thorns for many. But Virat Kohli is seriously relishing this opportunity. And to do this in Australia, after a tour like England, adds more weight to his performances.
You've taken the words out of my mouth. To be able to do it in Australia against Australia in a test series as leader, 3 innings as leader and 300s. What do you want? I don't think anybody can expect anything more from Virat Kohli. He just keeps rubbing it in. He just sort of gives it back to the Australians, stands up. The Australians in that view, you rightly said they hate him, but he loves them. Fantastic. To be able to do it in Australia against Australia in Australian conditions amidst all the sledging and all the talk, and make no mistake, there is a lot of banter going on in the middle, tells you that this guy is special. England, yes, is history. Maybe he has some problems against the moving ball, doesn't move so much in Australia, but Virat Kohli has injected new spirit. 572, Shivani, we were talking about 400, still a distance away, but India very much in with a chance of saving this test match. It will be a tremendous performance under Virat Kohli. Did Mahendra Dhoni score 100 overseas as captain? No. Virat Kohli tried thrice already as captain. That makes a difference.
Right, we'll talk about the situation of the match in just a bit. But as you mentioned, if you just take a look at that graphics of, the first three centuries in the first three innings as captain, and also most tons in Australia versus Australia. The previous best came in 1920. So in modern day cricket, really, Virat Kohli has been the most prolific of any player from any country in Australia. Saurav Ganguly, former India captain, also joining us now. Saurav, these are the numbers that kind of tell you the potential that Virat Kohli always had. These numbers really reaffirming them for us, because we always knew his talent. And Virat Kohli is responding very well, breaking records with the 4th ton in Australia now.
It's the mind, it's the passion, and it's the want to succeed. It's been such a pleasure watching him this series, the way he's batted. He actually carried this Indian batting single-handedly. And I was hearing Bodia say 3 back-to-back hundreds as captain, which is a phenomenal effort. Still not over yet. He's batting on 140. He'll get an overnight rest and come back tomorrow. India are still about 230 behind Australia. And Virat Kohli, if the field bats with him, he can take India close to the Australian total.
Saurav, you've watched him closely over the last 2 test matches. Would you say that he has plugged the holes in his batting, or the chinks we saw during the England series remain? It's just that he hasn't been tested in the same way here in Australia.
Well, I think every series is different. Every condition is different. And at the present moment in Australia, he is in a massive purple patch in a form of his life. And just like every other cricketer, he knows that when he goes to another series, he'll have to start from scratch. The intensity has to be the same, and it has to be started from zero. For the time being, it looks superb. 5 test matches in England, which he failed, was a big surprise to me, because I didn't expect him to fail those 5 test matches. But those things happen in sport. But the way he has batted in this series is just unbelievable. I've been watching cricket in Australia from 92, rather coming to Australia from 92, the 92 series, 99 series, 2003 I came as captain, 2007 as player, and the last 2 as commentator. I've seen some fabulous batting from the likes of Tendulkar, Dravid, Lakshman. Sunil Gavaskar has 500s in this country, but this is as good as anything. It's right up with all those players who have played superbly in Australia. Yes, the scoreline has gone against India, which was not the case in 2003, but you got to give credit to Virat Kohli, the way he has stood up and just taken the bowling on its face in this series. It's been just fabulous to watch.
What is it about Virat Kohli, Saurav, that you think makes him such a good competitor? We've of course seen it in the shorter format as well, and now he's coming into his own. Actually has surpassed Sachin Tendulkar as the fastest to 10 test centuries, equaling Mohammad Azharuddin, and just behind Sehwag in test cricket. But what do you think? Because a lot of times there's criticism for Virat Kohli as well, too aggressive sometimes, loses his cool. One wondered whether, captaincy is going to make him even more aggressive, and that is going to percolate to the rest of the team. But how do you think, what helps him, score these big innings especially?
I think it's his attitude. It's his attitude, and it's want to succeed and the want to compete. He doesn't want to come back from tough series empty-handed and looking like ordinary cricketers. I think he's got so much pride in his performance, which makes it special. Imagine the mental energy, in these conditions to turn up day in, day out and get test match hundreds. Yes, we all know players hit purple patches. You go through periods where you get 3 back-to-back hundreds. You go through a series where you get 500 odd runs. And he will go through bad times like he did in England. But at the present moment, what he's done is unbelievable, and it's such a treat to watch. And it's going to rub off on his players. And I think the 100 of KL Rahul is because of the rub-off of what Virat Kohli played. When somebody in the dressing room bats like this, the rest of them stand up and talk to themselves that, listen, if he can do it, why can't I do it? If he's doing it for the team, let me stand up and take my game to another level and do it for the team. This is infectious in the dressing room, and Virat Kohli is just amazing.
So is it safe to say, Saurav, that he is the captain for the future for India? So far, he was just announced as the captain for this test match, but he is going to continue as a test match captain for India.
Yeah, without any doubt. I think we shouldn't be even thinking about this question, whether he should be captaining India in the future. He's going to change Indian cricket, and then I can see that if he has the right people around in the dressing room in terms of his health, in terms of coaches and managers and trainers, he is going to get his team around, because he's desperate to win, and this is such a good thing to see.
Yes, Virat Kohli's, fantastic, memorable tour of Australia. It's such a shame that despite such performances, India is really at the end, the other end of the result here, 2-0 down and in a fight to save this test match as well. Let's talk about how this test match stands. They've ended the third day's play in Sydney against Australia at 342 runs for the loss of 5 wickets. The day, of course, belongs to Virat Kohli, who completed his 4th ton, and also to KL Rahul, who scored his maiden test ton.
Rohit Sharma got to his half-century as India needed to bat well on the third day at Sydney.
It's a half-century for Rohit Sharma.
But the right-hander was soon out after getting to his half-century. KL Rahul on the other end got alive as Australian captain Steve Smith dropped his catch.
178 with 148 for the most.
This is just the chance that India was looking for as the run just started flowing in for the visitors.
7.
With Virat Kohli continuing his fine form at the other end, KL Rahul's innings too blossomed.
That's a good shot. The series. Oh, edge.
Virat too got alive as Steve Smith dropped yet another chance in the slips.
Oh, Steve Smith. Runs here.
And then the big moment came as KL Rahul got into 3 figures. His 100 came off 253 balls. Rahul was out for 110 runs after lunch. Meanwhile, Virat Kohli carried on to complete his 4th century in the series against Australia.
What a time he's having.
He also equaled Sunil Gavaskar's record of 4 ton in an away series.
4th Test 100 in Australia, and he lets the world know about it.
India were then dealt with 2 body blows by Shane Watson. He first trapped Rahane in the front of the stumps. The very next delivery, Watson had Raina out, caught behind. India ended the day with 342 runs for the loss of 5 wickets, with Virat Kohli unbeaten on 140 runs.
On day 3.
Sports Bureau headlines today.
And the Indian captain Virat Kohli.
Saurav, you were in conversation with KL Rahul after his century today. What a day for him, and he must be not just relieved but also extremely proud of himself to get his maiden test ton in Australia, and this is going to really help him for the future.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think he got back to the position he plays as an opener. He's looked solid, Shivani. He's got the technique, his feet has moved well. Yes, there were chances given which were not taken. Those were nervous moments, the run out in the morning, then the hook shot which Steven Smith dropped. I think these things will happen, but what stood out for him more than the runs he scored is that the temperament and the technique to play at this level. He had time to play the fast bowlers, and I'm sure with more test matches under his belt, he's going to be a lot more solid at the crease, a lot more comfortable at the crease, and all those major hiccups which we saw will not be there, because it's not just the runs which he's got today, it's the belief that he can score at this level, which is so important for any young batsman. His first test series in Australia, which is tough. Virendra Sehwag had his first test series in South Africa. He got 100 of debut in Bloemfontein and became a completely different player since then. And it's going to be the same as KL Rahul, because he's got the technique, he's got the temperament. And I think India, even though they might not win this series, I don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 days. They might draw the test or lose the test, but they will come out of this series with some very good talent, with some players who actually can take this team forward. Virat Kohli has gone to another level as a batsman with 400 here. He needed this performance after his poor series in England to get that belief back. Murali Vijay has looked an out-and-out good player. Ajinkya Rahane just gets better and better. And now you've got KL Rahul, who as an opener will I think play for India for a while. So you've got 4 or 5 batsmen who I think are ready to get to the next level. So this is good signs for Indian cricket, and with experience, and as I said, very importantly, with the right people around in the dressing room, this team will be a good side.
So very quickly, before I go to Bore and Nikhil as well, Saurav, you think KL Rahul should continue in the opening slot?
Well, yeah, absolutely. He's an opener. He's a full-time opener. He's not a middle order batsman. He was asked to bat at number 6 because I think there was a method in that. There was a thought in that since he's an opener at number 6, he gets to play the new ball, so might as well give him an opportunity at number 6 and see that when he comes out to bat, if the second new ball is on, he'll play it properly for India. But opening is his place, and he will open for some time now, unless and until he really plays poorly. which I doubt it will happen because he looks like someone who's got a good head on the shoulder and he's got the technique to play at this level.
It's such a shame that, these centuries are coming, and as I mentioned, Virat Kohli is in such fine form, Nikhil, which once again brings me to this point, and Saurav and, us have been discussing this on Headlines today, that India needs to go into these tours early to settle down by the time they come to the first test match, to the second test match, because it seems by the time they settle down, the series is already over and they've already lost it.
Absolutely. I guess, a month and a half, get used to the conditions, you can be more competitive. Apart from that very first test match where Virat Kohli got hundreds in both innings, Murli Vijay had a fantastic, everybody else seemed, maybe they're not ready. We had a chance of winning the test match, and then all of a sudden we lost that test match. You're absolutely right. It's important to start well a series, and we've had this perennial problem. Whenever we've gone, Shivani, overseas, we've never been good starters of test series, and I think it's about time that we start to think about making that change, so that come the middle of the series or towards the end of the series, you're peaking at the right time.
All right, almost time for us to take our viewers' leave. Boria, very quickly, the test match is still very much for Australia to lose, isn't it? Or not get a win, because a couple of quick wickets tomorrow and India could be in trouble again.
But you've got Ravichandran Ashwin and Bhuvneshwar Kumar to come in. I mean, it's a better tale than what you had. Just quick answer to the last question. I don't think India went too late. I thought 13 days into the series in this context, in this day and age, was enough time to acclimatize.
But just two two-day games, Boria. Just two two-day games, Boria.
No. You had enough time in Australia. You had 14 days. You will never get more than 14 days in the modern context. Because of Phil Hughes, you had enough time to acclimatise in Australia. No excuses. The fact of the matter is this team in batting is good enough. You've got to get bowlers who will stand up to the challenge. Under a new captain, it's new energy, new dynamism. I am not putting my money on Australia. I think under Virat Kohli, that self-belief that you can draw this match is there. Right. I'll put my money on India and think that something better will happen in the next 2 days.
All right. India definitely have laid the groundwork. They have to continue that on the fourth day. Saurav Ganguly, Boria Majumdar, Nikhil Chopra, thanks a lot for talking to us.